You hear a sentence in a movie. It's perfect. Cool tone. Simple words. Feels natural. You think, wow, I should remember that. And then you do nothing. You don't repeat it. You don't say it out loud. You just smile like a polite tourist in your own brain and keep watching. And tomorrow, that perfect sentence is gone, vanished like your motivation on Monday morning. Welcome to Monday English Podcast, where your excuses die quietly and your English gets louder. This episode, it's called Copy People, shamelessly. Because honestly, that's how everyone gets better. Spoiler alert, nobody wakes up speaking fluent English, not even native speakers. They copied their mom. They copied cartoons. They copied until they could speak without thinking. So why are you still trying to invent every sentence from scratch like some grammar superhero? Today we're going to break that weird idea that copying is bad or fake. It's not. It's smart. It's how your brain learns fast. In segment 1, Monkey See, Monkey Speak, you'll learn how copying helps your pronunciation and confidence. In segment 2, Copy First, Understand Later, we'll talk about using useful phrases, even before you fully get them. And in segment 3, Be a Parrot with Style, we'll teach you how to shadow without sounding like a robot with a sore throat. Let's be real. You're not silent because you're shy. You're silent because you think copying makes you weak. But here's the truth. Your original sentences sound like Google Translate on a bad day. So stop waiting for inspiration. Start stealing good English like an artist. Let's go. Segment 1 is waiting. Don't be late. Your fluency isn't. You walk into a coffee shop. You feel good. You think, I'll order in English today. You step up. You smile. You say, I want coffee, big milk, please. The barista stares. You stare back. Time stops. Then they ask, you mean a large latte? You nod like you just passed a hard exam. That moment, that's what happens when you try to create a sentence from scratch under pressure. It's not fun. It's not brave. It's just unnecessary pain. Why? Because the sentence, I'd like a large latte, please, already exists. It's clean. It works. And you've heard it 100 times. But you didn't copy it. You tried to be original. Congrats, you got confused and scared over a cup of milk. Copying a sentence is not cheating. It's training. Your brain is like a sponge, but it needs patterns. When you hear I'd like a over and over again, your brain starts to trust it. It's like a shortcut. You don't need to think hard. You just use it. This is how real speakers survive real conversations. They don't invent. They steal. Then they repeat. Let me remind you of something. Babies are masters of copying. They don't ask, what's the grammar rule here? They just hear, bye-bye, and say it 200 times a day. No shame, no fear, just pure learning. And you know what? It works. That's how every child learns their first language. Why do adults make it harder? Because we want to sound smart. We think if I copy someone, it's not me. Okay. But right now, you sounds like a broken robot. So maybe it's time to shut down that ego and just borrow a good sentence. Think of it like karaoke. Except instead of singing badly, you're learning to speak well. Shadowing is what we call this in language learning. It means repeating exactly what someone else says. Same words, same rhythm, same feeling. It's not just making noise. It's listening with care and copying with purpose. Let's say you watch a clip from a show. A character says, I'm not sure, but I'll try. That's your sentence. You pause the video, you say it once, twice, 10 times. You match the speed, you copy the tone, you get used to how it feels in your mouth. You learn what each word does. I'm not sure means you don't know, but I'll try means you'll still do it. That's real English. Not from a grammar book, from life. And this helps with everything. Speaking, listening, even grammar. Because when you copy, you're not just repeating. You're learning how sentences work. You feel the verbs. You hear the rhythm. You understand without needing to stop and translate every word. The brain loves patterns, and shadowing gives you patterns to follow. But don't confuse this with passive watching. Watching Netflix in English without speaking is like watching someone else go to the gym and hoping your muscles grow. Doesn't work. You have to do something. You have to speak out loud. Yes, even if your neighbor hears you. Yes, even if your cat judges you. Here's where subtitles can help. At the beginning, use English subtitles. Listen, read, repeat. If a sentence is too fast, pause, rewind, try again. That's not weakness, that's focus. But don't get stuck with subtitles forever. They're like training wheels. Useful now, annoying later. At some point, you have to ride without them. You'll wobble, you'll fall, but you'll move forward. I know what you're thinking, but I don't want to sound like a copy machine. Okay, but you already sound like Google Translate on vacation. So what's the real problem? You copy songs, you copy dance moves, you even copy recipes you'll never cook. But when it comes to English, suddenly you want to be a poet? Please. Copying is not the end goal. It's the beginning. Once you copy enough, your brain starts remixing. You hear I'd like a latte, and then one day, boom, you say I'd like a sandwich. That's real fluency. Not perfect grammar. Not a British accent. Just saying what you mean without panic. And the confidence boost? Huge. When you shadow daily, your mouth gets faster. Your fear gets smaller. Your brain stops freezing. You stop overthinking and start speaking. Not perfect, but real. That's what you need. Not one big leap, but 100 small, stolen steps. Let's wrap this up with a little honesty. If you're still waiting to feel natural before you speak, good luck. That's like waiting to be fit before going to the gym. You'll wait forever. Fluency doesn't come from hiding. It comes from stealing, repeating, failing, laughing, and doing it all again tomorrow. Here's your tiny task. Find a 10-second clip from a movie or show you like. Copy it out loud 10 times. Same voice, same words. No shame. Your mouth will hate you, but your fluency will thank you. Now that you know how smart it is to steal a sentence, let's talk about something even harder. Using those sentences before you fully understand them. Because yes, that's allowed. And in segment 2, I'll show you why it works better than waiting. See you there. Let's play a little game. You're watching a show. Someone says, "I'm good, thanks." Easy, right? You've heard it 1,000 times. But when someone asks you how you are, you smile politely and say, "I am fine, thank you." Like you're reading from a 1987 English textbook. Why? Because that's what you learned first. That's what feels safe, even though no one outside your class actually talks like that. And yes, we're calling you out. It's okay, you're not alone. Here's the truth. Fluent people don't always understand every word they say at first. We say things before we fully get them. It's normal. It's human. Babies do it all the time. A baby hears, "What's that?" and repeats it again and again. Do they understand the grammar? No, but they use it. And by using it, they learn it. This is the big secret language learners forget. You don't wait until you fully understand something to use it. You use it to start understanding. Let's take a simple phrase like, "no worries." You've probably heard it before. It means, it's okay, or don't worry about it. But if you're still stuck saying, "it does not matter," or "that is all right," maybe it's time to upgrade. You don't need to write a full grammar report on no worries. You just need to say it. Use it once, then again, then again. After a while, you'll stop thinking about it and just speak it. Think of it like learning to swim. You don't wait until you understand the water. You jump in, kick badly, drink a little pool water, and then get better. Same with English. If you wait for perfect understanding, you'll stay dry and silent forever. And sorry, but English isn't a theory exam. It's a muscle. You need to move it not just read about it. Let's talk about some real examples. There's a student I knew, smart guy, studied hard. He kept asking, what does I'm in mean? He saw it in messages. Are you in for the trip? Yep, I'm in. He didn't want to use it until he understood every possible meaning. Meanwhile, the rest of the group had fun using it. He missed the fun. He waited too long. By the time he finally said, I'm in, the trip was over. Literally. Another one. I got this. People say it all the time. It means I can handle it. But many learners are afraid to use it. They say, I will do this thing by myself now. Okay, sure. But why? Because you don't feel ready to sound casual? Fluent? Relaxed? Let me break it to you. You won't feel ready. You'll feel awkward. But that's part of the ride. Say it wrong. Say it weird. But say it. And let's be honest, you've already memorized 12 grammar tenses, but can't say no worries? You can explain past perfect progressive, but panic at sounds good? Time to flip your method. Your grammar is strong. Your mouth is scared. That's the gap. And copying short, real phrases even before you understand them is the bridge. Here's the good news. The more you say it, the better it fits. You might start with, what's up? Not really knowing when to use it. But after hearing it 10 times in real life, you'll get it. Your brain connects dots fast when your mouth is involved. Language is not just in your head. It lives in your lips, your breath, your body. Use it. Don't wait for some grammar angel to give you permission. Here's a fun little word, eventually. It means after some time. For example, if you use the sentence now, you'll understand it eventually. That's how learning works. Copy now, understand later. Just like we do with songs. You sing them first, you feel them, and then maybe you read the lyrics. And that works. Why not apply that to English? Still scared to copy something before you fully get it? Think about how many times you've nodded during a conversation when you didn't understand half of it. But you kept going, right? So don't pretend you're too careful to use a new sentence. You faked understanding before. Now it's time to fake fluency until it becomes real. The truth is, English is not a mountain you climb. It's a street you walk. Sentence by sentence. Word by word. You don't need a map before you take the first step. You need to move, even if you don't fully know where the road goes yet. So here's your task. Pick 3 phrases you've always liked but never used. Write them down. Choose one. Use it today, in a real message or a voice note. Doesn't matter if it feels strange. Do it anyway. Coming up next, we're going to get even more dangerous. We're going to copy people on purpose with emotion and style. That's right. In segment 3, we'll learn how to shadow without sounding like your GPS is learning English. See you there. You copied the sentence perfectly. Every word correct. Every pause in the right place. You open your mouth, say it with confidence, and your friend looks confused. Then they say, "Why are you talking like Siri?" Ouch! You practiced, you repeated, you even fixed your pronunciation, but somehow it still sounds off, robotic, like your voice forgot how to be human. If that's ever happened to you, don't worry. It means you're doing something right. You're copying. But now it's time to add the next step, feeling. Shadowing is not about sounding like a speaking test. It's not reading words like a robot. It's repeating with emotion, rhythm, and real voice. Let's break that down. Emotion means how you feel, happy, angry, nervous. Rhythm means the music of the sentence. Some parts are fast, others are slow. Voice means your natural sound, not forced, not fake, just you copying with personality. Let's take a sentence. I don't know. 3 little words. You can say it 10 different ways. You can say it bored. I don't know. You can say it shocked. I don't know. You can say it scared. I don't know. Same words, different feeling. And that's what makes it human. That's what makes people listen. When you shadow, you're not just saying the sentence, you're becoming the sentence. You copy the voice, the energy, the little pauses. It's like acting. Think of yourself as a beginner actor. No one expects you to win an Oscar, but you have to try. You have to get into the scene. And yes, you will sound weird at first. That's okay. Weird is part of learning. Here's a word you might like, awkward. It means uncomfortable or strange, like when you try to sound cool and just sound not cool. Example, I felt awkward speaking English in front of my boss. But awkward is also honest. It's the step before fluent. If you never sound awkward, you're not practicing enough. Now let's talk about how to shadow with style. Start small. Pick one sentence from a show or video. Listen. Pause. Say it back. Not just the words. Match the feeling. If the speaker is excited, be excited. If they whisper, whisper. If they shout, you shout too. Okay, maybe not in the library. If the sentence is too fast, break it. Say the first half, then the second. Example, I can't believe it. First part, I can't. Second part, believe it. Then put them together. Say it again, then again. You'll notice something. Your voice becomes more natural. You stop thinking about grammar. You stop checking every sound. You just speak. Still scared to try? Afraid people will laugh? Here's a question. How's your English now? Quiet? Safe? Half used? You're afraid of sounding like a robot. But right now you sound like buffering Wi-Fi. Lagging, glitchy, a little broken. At least robots speak. When you shadow with emotion, your voice gets stronger. You stop copying like a machine. You start connecting to the meaning. And this helps your memory. Because emotion helps your brain remember. Think of your favorite movie quote. You remember it because it made you feel something, not because you studied it for a test. A student once told me she felt stupid repeating the same sentence many times. She said, "It feels silly. I already said it once." I told her, "Good. Say it 10 more times." Because one time is not enough. Repetition makes it stick, and style makes it useful. Let's try another word. Deliver. It means to say something with meaning or strength. Example, she delivered her line like a real actor. That's what you want. You want to deliver your English sentences, not just mumble them. Mumble means to speak too quietly or unclearly. And let's be honest, mumbling in English is like whispering into a storm. Nobody hears you. Nobody cares. And here's the thing. When you add emotion to your shadowing, your confidence grows. You stop checking every word before you speak. You stop sounding like someone reading a list. You start sounding like someone who means what they say, even if the grammar's not perfect, even if you forget a word. People understand you better when you sound real. So shadowing isn't about being perfect. It's about being present, in the moment, with the sentence, with the feeling. That's why actors rehearse. That's why singers practice lines over and over. And that's why your English needs the same energy. It's not just practice, it's performance. Even if your only audience is your dog. Now take a sentence you like. Something short. Add an emotion. Say it like you're happy, then say it like you're angry, then say it like you're shy. Try this out loud right now. Don't just sit there and nod. Yes, I see you. Here's your task. Pick one emotion today, any feeling. Choose one sentence you copied recently. Say it 3 times with that emotion. Feel ridiculous? Good. You're doing it right. Coming up next, we're not just going to talk about feelings. We're going to talk about fear, pride, and the real reason most people stop copying. It's not the sentence. It's the ego. In our next part, it's time for some real talk. You've been warned. You want to speak naturally? Cute. That's why you say nothing, because you're waiting to speak like a local from Los Angeles, without sounding fake, without copying anyone, without making a single mistake. Newsflash, natural speech doesn't fall from the sky like magic grammar dust. It's built word by word, cringe by cringe. You don't want to copy because you think that makes you sound weak. Or worse, basic. You want to be the artist, the original, the poet of your own English. Well, guess what? You're not writing a novel. You're trying to order lunch. Let's stop pretending this is about method. It's not. It's ego. You're not lazy. You're proud. You think real learning means suffering in silence, figuring it out alone, but copying someone smarter than you? Oh no. That feels like giving up. Feels fake. You say, that sentence doesn't feel like me. Okay, but right now you sound like a confused chatbot. And people aren't replying to your English because they don't understand it, or they just don't hear it at all. The truth? Language is stolen. Every fluent speaker you admire, they copied first. TV shows, friends, parents, teachers. And yes, they sounded weird at first too. You just didn't hear that part. You're comparing your first draft to their final version and wondering why you can't create naturally. Well, maybe it's time to stop trying to be a genius and start trying to be understood. Copying isn't fake. It's human. It's survival. It's smart. Every time you repeat someone else's sentence, you're training your brain to think faster. You're learning what sounds right. You're practicing with structure and tone without needing to invent something from zero. That's not weakness. That's growth. So stop hiding behind your pride. Stop rejecting good English just because you didn't write it. Say the sentence, even if it's not you, even if it feels silly. Say it 3 times. Let your mouth get used to the shape. That's how fluency begins. Not with some magical perfect sentence that floats into your brain, but with copying something boring and saying it until it's yours. Ready to stop hiding behind the I want to be original excuse? Good. Because now we're building your plan. In the next part, we're putting all of this together. Shadowing, speaking, tracking progress. Let's turn your quiet copy moments into real, loud confidence. Let's go. So, you made it through the full episode. Congrats. You've officially been told again that copying isn't cheating. It's how you learn to sound like someone who actually speaks English instead of just studying it. We talked about copying smart, copying early, and yes, copying with feeling. Not because it's easy, because it works. Babies do it. Actors do it. Even your favorite English-speaking YouTuber started by repeating someone else. No shame, no secrets, just smart practice. You've now seen that your problem isn't grammar. It's your mouth. It's your fear. It's your weird little voice in your head that says, I want to sound like me. Okay, sure. But what if you can't ask for help at a restaurant? What if you go silent every time a native speaker says, what's up? It's time to upgrade your English, not your pride. Let go of that perfect sentence fantasy. Start stealing lines that work. Use them until they feel like yours. We also called out the I want to sound natural excuse. You know the one you say right before you say nothing at all. Real talk? Natural doesn't mean original. It means used to it. You get used to it by repeating, shadowing, acting, failing, laughing, doing it again. You don't speak naturally by being silent. You speak naturally by speaking, even badly. So what now? You build your copy habit. You don't wait for confidence. You earn it with every awkward sentence. You choose a short line from a movie or podcast. You say it out loud. You repeat it until your brain stops fighting and your mouth stops freezing. That's your tiny task today. 1 sentence, repeated 5 times with real voice and real emotion. Not fake. Not perfect. Just done. And if that still feels scary, then ask yourself, are you learning English or just collecting grammar books? You don't get fluent by being a sentence collector. You get fluent by becoming a sentence thief. Steal it. Say it. Make it yours. Thanks for sticking with us. If you laughed, cringed, or got a tiny push today, share this episode with someone who's also stuck. Someone who says, I just want to speak more, but never copies a thing. Or maybe send it to your study group, your language partner, your mirror, whoever's listening. And if that person is you, even better. Subscribe to Monday English Podcast so you don't miss the next roast, the next truth, the next little kick forward. We'll be here next Monday, still tired, still sarcastic, and still cheering you on while you copy your way to fluency. Now go steal a sentence. Your future self is waiting.